Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Our mission, as always, is pretty simple. We grab a fascinating piece of writing, peel back its layers, and pull like the most important bits of knowledge and insight. Basically, give you a shortcut to being, well, really well-informed. Today, we're plunging into a real classic, the iconic dystopian novel, 1984.
A heavy hitter.
Definitely. And we're going to zoom right in on just one incredibly rich excerpt. It's from Part 1, Chapter 5. It seems like just a normal scene, a mundane lunch break. But wow, it's absolutely packed with insights into a world under total control.
That's exactly it. It's not just a story, is it? It's such a chillingly insightful look at how power can actually control, well, not just what you do, but what you think. Even how you see reality itself. And this excerpt, the lunch break, because it's so ordinary, it kind of works like a microcosm, a little model of the whole oppressive society. It shows you the machinery in action.
Right. So to set the scene, try and picture yourself right there with Winston Smith. You're in this low-ceilinged, crowded, really noisy underground canteen.
Yeah.
The air's thick with this, sour metallic smell of stew mixed with the fumes from that Victory gin.
Grim.
It's loud, it's grimy. You're immediately dropped into the bleakness of this world. So our mission today: unpack how these seemingly ordinary details reveal extraordinary things about power, control, and the human spirit under all that pressure. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with something really everyday, something Winston faces that feels weirdly relatable. Hunting for razor blades.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's a basic necessity, but they're incredibly hard to get. The party shops, they just don't have them. So people hoard, or they go to this grim free market. It's not just blades. The text makes it clear. It's buttons, darning wool, shoelaces, everything. Winston's been using the same blade for 6 weeks.
Wow.
So what does this immediate physical scarcity tell us about this world?
Well, what's really key here, I think, is that this constant lack, this scarcity, it's not just, bad economics. It's a deliberate control mechanism, a really effective one. It's like, if you keep people constantly focused on just surviving, on finding that next razor blade or button, they don't have the energy or even the mental space to think about resistance. It grinds them down.
Ah, okay.
And you see it in the descriptions, right? The greasy metal tray, that pinkish gray stew, the milkless Victory coffee, even that filthy liquid mess on the table that looked like vomit. It creates this pervasive feeling Winston has of being cheated of something that you had a right to.
Yeah.
And he has this sort of ancestral memory, the book calls it, that things used to be better even if you can't quite pin it down. It's like a constant low-level war against your spirit.
Okay, so from that physical squalor, we shift to something maybe even more insidious, manipulating language itself. We meet Syme, Winston's friend, though comrade is probably more accurate here.
Definitely comrade.
And Syme's a philologist, right? A specialist in Newspeak. He's working on the 11th edition of the Newspeak dictionary. Sounds academic, but it's way more than that, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And this is where it gets really chilling, I think. Syme explains the actual purpose of Newspeak, and he's weirdly passionate about it, like a pedant.
Right.
It's not about inventing new words, it's the opposite. It's about destroying them. He says scores of them, hundreds of them, every day, cutting language down to the bone.
Destroying words.
Yeah. He gives examples. Getting rid of synonyms, getting rid of antonyms, like good is enough. You don't need bad. Bad just becomes ungood.
Ungood.
And stronger words like excellent or splendid, they become plus good, or even double plus good.
Okay, this idea of actively destroying words, concepts, it's kind of mind-boggling. What's the party's ultimate goal with Newspeak? What are they trying to achieve by, stripping language down like that?
That's where it gets really unsettling. Syme lays it out pretty clearly. The ultimate goal is to narrow the range of thought.
Narrow the range of thought.
Exactly. The terrifying idea is to make thought crime literally impossible. Not by, punishing thoughts directly, but by getting rid of the actual words you'd need to even form a rebellious or unorthodox thought.
So if you can't even think it because the word doesn't exist, that's a level of control that's hard to wrap your head around.
It really is. Syme tells Winston, every concept that can ever be needed will be expressed by exactly one word.
One word.
With its meaning rigidly defined and all its subsidiary meanings rubbed out and forgotten. He predicts that by 2050, nobody will even understand Old Speak. English as we know it. Past literature. It'll be destroyed or just rewritten into nonsense contradictions. The final goal, Syme says, is chilling. Orthodoxy means not thinking, not needing to think. Orthodoxy is unconsciousness.
Like an intellectual lobotomy for the whole society.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, that brings us to Parsons, Winston's neighbor. He seems like the perfect example of this unconscious orthodoxy you mentioned. Tell us about him. How does he show us the party's ideal citizen?
Right, Parsons. Physically, he's described as tubby, kind of boyish, always sweating with a sort of fog-like face. And he's a total zealot. He just blindly accepts everything the party says and does. He's super proud to be the treasurer for the Hate Week Fund, always hitting people up for voluntary subscriptions, including Winston. He really is that unconscious orthodoxy because he's the everyday guy who doesn't just accept the party line. He actively participates in enforcing it all. He's, well, dull-witted but fiercely loyal, which in this twisted world makes him perfect for the party.
And his kids. They really show how terrifyingly good the party is at indoctrinating the young, don't they?
Oh, yeah. It's horrifying.
Parsons actually brags about them. They were upset they missed a public hanging.
Yeah.
They spotted some guy, a strange man, just because he had funny kind of shoes, and turned him over to the patrols as a likely enemy agent.
Unbelievable.
And Parsons is proud that they set fire to an old market woman's skirt. Why? Because she wrapped sausages in a poster of Big Brother.
He thinks it shows good spirit.
And get this, they're given ear trumpets for listening through keyholes. And they use them as this total breakdown of family, of trust, weaponizing kids. It's just profoundly disturbing.
It really is. It shows how the party makes everyone, even little kids, into tools of the state, watching each other. Parsons is proud, but the horror is how deep this goes, turning family bonds into surveillance tools.
So it's not just controlling actions.
No, not at all. It's shaping instincts. It's destroying any idea of privacy, any safe space.
Right. It's creating citizens who police themselves and each other without even thinking about it. And that makes Parsons, despite being, not very bright,
Yeah.
the party's ultimate success story, in a way.
Sadly, yes.
Okay, so just as Parsons is bragging about his kids, this trumpet call sounds from the telescreen. An announcement's coming from the Ministry of Plenty.
Ah, the Ministry of Plenty, always ironic.
Totally. And this eager, youthful voice comes on proclaiming glorious news. The battle for production is won. Standard of living, up by 20% in the last year.
Right. And connecting this back, it just throws the party's control over reality into sharp relief, doesn't it?
How so?
Because Winston immediately remembers, just yesterday, the chocolate ration was cut down to 20 grams.
Right. I remember that bit.
But today, the announcement says it's been raised to 20 grams. It's a blatant lie, a direct contradiction, just presented as fact.
So, given it's such an obvious lie, how do people in the canteen react? We see a few different reactions, right?
We do, yeah. Parsons. True to form, he just swallows it easily with the stupidity of an animal. Just accepts it.
No questions asked.
None. Then there's this other person described as an eyeless creature at another table who swallows it fanatically, passionately, like they're desperate to believe it and furious at anyone who might doubt it. But Syme's reaction, it's described as more complex. It involves doublethink.
Ah, doublethink. That's a huge concept here.
Absolutely key. It's the ability to hold two contradictory beliefs in your mind at the same time and accept both. To know the ration was cut, but also accept it was raised. It's like mental gymnastics the party forces on everyone.
And Winston's thought, was he then alone in the possession of a memory? That really hits hard. It shows his unique and really dangerous struggle against this whole manufactured reality. He's one of the few still trusting his own mind.
Which is incredibly risky.
Definitely. Which brings us straight to the peril of just being aware in this world. Who survives? Let's go back to Syme.
Okay.
Despite being, as the book says, venomously orthodox, in some ways, he's smart. He thinks deeply. And Winston has this sudden, really strong feeling Syme will be vaporized.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's too intelligent. He sees too clearly and speaks too plainly. The party does not like such people.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how the party actively targets intelligence, targets independent thought. It's seen as a threat. And Syme himself actually introduces another newspeak word, duckspeak.
Duckspeak.
Yeah, literally to quack like a duck. He explains it's interesting because it has two contradictory meanings. It means abuse if you say it about an enemy, but it means praise if you say it about someone on your side, someone spouting the party line correctly.
So even a sound, a quack, gets twisted.
Exactly. It's another example of language being warped, weaponized to control how you perceive things. Even noise becomes an instrument of control.
And then the narrative points to this man at the next table, right? His voice is described as a quacking voice, not speech in the true sense.
Oh.
It was a noise uttered in unconsciousness, like the quacking of a duck. This guy is the embodiment of pure orthodoxy, just a dummy. His brain isn't talking, just his larynx.
And that connects right back to Winston's big realization about who actually survives in the system. It's Parsons.
Right.
It's the eyeless creature. It's the little beetle-like men who scuttle so nimbly through the labyrinthine corridors.
The ones who don't think.
Exactly. Those who are unconscious or, frankly, stupid, they thrive because they don't question. They just absorb and repeat. Syme, maybe Mrs. Parsons, Winston himself. They're marked for vaporization precisely because they have some level of independent thought or awareness left. Orthodoxy was unconsciousness. That line says it all. The party wants minds that are just passive receivers, not active thinkers.
And if the threat of being vaporized for thinking wasn't enough, there's also the constant surveillance. We get that glimpse of the mysterious girl from the fiction department.
Julia, yeah. Though we don't know her name yet.
Right. Her just looking at him gives Winston this horrible pang of terror. He thinks about the danger, not just from the official thought police, but from the amateur spy, just anyone like this girl who might be watching for the tiniest slip-up.
And that just highlights the insane level of control reaching down to the smallest things, even unconscious expressions. There's even a word for that, isn't there?
Face crime.
Face crime. To wear an improper expression on your face, like looking skeptical when a victory is announced, was itself a punishable offense. Wow.
It's not enough to control what you do or say or even think. Even an involuntary muscle twitch in your face could doom you. It's a world where your own body, your own internal feelings can betray you.
So wrapping this up, what does this all really mean for you listening? This deep dive into just one short scene from 1984, it shows a world just meticulously built for control, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
From the physical stuff, the discomfort, the scarcity, to the really insidious manipulation of language and that chilling indoctrination of kids. Every single element works together to snuff out independent thought and memory.
Yeah, we've seen how people like Syme, with his sharp mind, they're doomed. While the completely unthinking orthodoxy of Parsons or the duck-speaking masses, that actually helps them survive. This excerpt just powerfully shows that the most effective control isn't always brute force. It's shaping the very tools we use to understand the world.
Yeah.
Language and reality itself. The party knew, didn't they? If you control the words people can use, you eventually control their thoughts. It leaves us with a pretty provocative thought, I think. If a whole society can be controlled by, well, destroying words to narrow the range of thought, and by pushing contradictory facts that people just swallow, what does that tell us about the power of language and information in our own world today?
Yeah.
What does it really mean to remember, to think, and to speak freely when the very definitions of those things can be attacked, can be put under siege? Lots to think about there. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep exploring.